guys, so it's Lydia from Lydia and Alma here, and I'm going to show you the long-awaited AFRO Wig tutorial that I do. This really helps grow out my hair and it's a nice protective style. So yeah, let's just get into it. So I bought 2 packs of this Afro Kinky 20-inch hair. Actually needed 3 in the end, just to make sure it was full. And then get a U-part wig and some clips if you need it to sew, some string, some scissors, your needle, some pins, and maybe go ahead and start threading. So I'm going to take my head and pin down the cap so that it's all secure, and I start by measuring each part of hair, and make sure that when you're sewing, I'm sure most of you guys know, to thread it nice and tight and make sure it's attached to the weft very well. And then I'm starting right at the bottom, and yeah, just making sure it's really secure is my main concern with the wig. And for the next piece, I just go ahead and pre-cut it again and pin down each side of the weft and then sew it down. This just helps me make sure it's on securely and that there's no gaps when I'm sewing, and yeah, I just find it easier. So when I'm measuring, I always take about a finger's width between each weft, so that there's enough space and it looks more natural that way. And I take the needle through, at the ends I take the needle and put it on the edge of the weft so that it's on the secure part. I don't tug too hard, but I just make sure that I put in at least 2 or 3 knots before starting, and then I just continue on this process, and it's pretty straightforward, really. Just again, making sure you don't pull too tight. And then at a certain level, I just started to fold the weft over, and as you can see here, like, I have a little gap. And the issue with this hair in particular for me is that the weft itself is very thick, but it's short. It's not like a long pack of hair. It's really short and very thick. So the issue I would have is I could actually finish this wig with like 1 pack of hair, but if I did, there would be so many gaps. So I thought it's probably best that I buy a couple of packs so that it fills in the gaps, and then just find my way to thin it. Be careful of the scissors, because if you're like me, you probably could stab yourself in the eye. Now this is really annoying sometimes. When you are sewing, it can like pull. You could sew it too tight and then it can pull on the wig. So in that case, I just kind of cut the thread out and redo that part, because you don't want it to, when you put the wig on, you have tightness and it doesn't fit your head properly. So now I'm on my 3rd pack of hair, and what I like to do is just start with sewing the top part. And this little gap, which is why I like U-part wigs, is sometimes I leave my hair out so that it looks more natural. But it's good to just make sure you start at the top so that you use as much hair as you need for the top, and then you can work out how much you need in the bottom. So I don't know why my little brother decided to say hi to you guys, but he wanted to say hello. Now he can move. So I have this big gap of hair here that needs to be sewn on. So I just carry on the process of now sewing down, just putting wefts down each row. And I ran out of space for my camera, but what I did with that U-part gap is I wanted a fringe. I didn't want to leave hair out this time. So I just took the wefts, I would measure it where my fingers are, measure how long it needed to be, and just sew them down the sides and carry on that process. Yeah, but it's pretty straightforward, and it's a nice option. And as long as you sew it really tightly on the sides, it really is secure and a nice way to, have a bang or fringe fro.
Hello
guys, so I'm going to show you now how I style the wig. So here is the finished product, and it's huge. Like, oh, this is huge. My check to make sure that I feel like it's done pretty well. So it's not as shaped as I would like it to be, and I'm just going to show how I kind of personalize it and make it my own. I put them in 4 braids, which isn't too thick. I made them as tight as possible. And this does the job. Like, I'm gonna do all the extra stuff. Now, with the front, I'm just bringing it forward. So here we are. Here at the front, because I guess my braids are quite thick, it's not laying down properly. But I'm gonna buy some clips to sew so that it sticks into my hair and it's more secure. But for the meantime, I just use bobby pins, and I'm careful not to like pull on the string at the front. But we get the gist. Personally, when wearing an afro, I like to have hair quite heavier towards my neck. So I like it to be longer towards my neck. And I like it to kind of have like a heart shape. So what I'm going to do is just pull the hair out. I love that this hair has shrinkage, so you know, can freak a few people out on the street. Now if you want, you could do this on your mannequin head or with the wig off, you know, just like going through and cutting off sections of hair. But because this hair is so thick, and what you don't want to do is like layer it, because then you're just gonna have a very thick round fro. If that's what you want, that's cool. But when I'm cutting like to actually thin out this hair, I go right down to the root and cut it off so that I get a whole chunk of hair out to help thin out this huge afro. So I'm just gonna keep this up and get back to you. Just a little. So as you can see, here's my hair now with a few chunks cut out, and I'm really loving the shape and fullness of it a lot more now. I'm still gonna cut away a little bit, but yeah, I'm starting to like it. You can see how much more natural it looks when you start to thin it out. When cutting the hair close to the scalp, it's nice to leave maybe an inch or 2 of length towards the scalp, so that when you're bending down and stuff, the hair on the weft is still filling in the gaps. So for instance, if here you see these gaps that I want to keep filled, if I was to cut hair here, I'd cut right around here, so and kind of brush it out so that it stays puffy and fills in the gaps in my hair. So yeah, let me just finish up what I was doing. And here guys is the finished product. Here is my fro. I've shaped it now. So just a final tip, when you're cutting little bits, make sure that you're not cutting the hair while stretched. Cut it while it's unstretched, so that what you might do is surprise yourself when you cut it and it springs back up and it's too short. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, comment below and I'll try my best to answer them all. Follow us on Instagram at lydiandalma, and we will be with you with another video soon. Thanks. Bye.